Tie your shoes because it's time for another episode. This time we are diving deep into rock bottom. The first episode where you can find rock bottom is in season 1. Did you know that this episode's alternate titles were The Wrong Bus, The Bus, and It's Lonely at the Bottom? But I think the title Rock Bottom suits this episode very well. So it all begins with SpongeBob and Patrick taking the wrong bus. And have you noticed that the bus is almost empty, so no one wants to go to rock bottom? And then we see two signs, Bikini Bottom city limits and you are now leaving Bikini Bottom. And then there is this huge drop and at the end there is rock bottom. There is this 90-degree angle. You need a bus or a balloon to exit rock bottom. Maybe there are also other options. I have also found an exposure sheet for this episode and it's also known as a dope sheet. It's basically used in animation to track the timing for scenes, dialogues, movements and also sound elements. On the top sheet we can see handwritten notes and stamped information, including scene numbers and also production codes. The bottom sheet is mostly blank with only a few handwritten marks, and it's not always easy to decipher because exposure sheets often use specific codes that are only understandable to the production team. But in general, I can say that each box on the sheet represents a certain unit of time, often a frame or a second. And the notes in each box describe what happens in the specific unit of time. This can be a movement, a dialogue, a sound effect, or another action. After dropping down with the bus and angering the bus driver, SpongeBob and Patrick arrive in rock bottom. And you already know that sunlight does not reach this part of the ocean, so everything is always pitch black except for a few streetlights. And there is also this strange soil in rock bottom that is green with living sludge that can talk. The residents of rock bottom all speak by blowing a raspberry in between words. There is also a weird restroom. You can't really tell which door you should take. And even by waiting for some residents to come out, you can't really tell which door is the right one. And why is this door opening like this, by the way? I think it's just to underline the bizarreness of rock bottom. And then Patrick leaves rock bottom with the bus, and SpongeBob missed the bus. And as you can see, SpongeBob tried to leave rock bottom by foot, but he couldn't. And then there is also the bus stop where SpongeBob waited for the bus. You can see one more time that the spelling in rock bottom is different. Did you know that Mr. Lawrence, a SpongeBob SquarePants writer, stated that the idea for this episode came from his own moment of getting on the wrong bus as a kid? And the worst thing about this is that the bus driver going the entire route before he would let him and his friend off in the right place, which frightened them both, and I can totally relate with that. Next to the bus stop is the bus station. There is also a worker inside. I think he doesn't like SpongeBob that much. And there are also some strange residents of rock bottom, and they represent deep sea creatures. Outside you can also find this candy automate or machine. So at the entry to rock bottom we saw 3 things: the bus station, the restroom and the candy machine. Maybe 4 things if you want to include the bus stop. Did you know that this episode inspired the roller coaster SpongeBob SquarePants Rock Bottom Plunge at the Mall of America in Bloomington? And it opened exactly 8 years after this episode premiered. Let's go back to the bus station because there you can see a clock. You can see how weird it is. There are numbers and also letters. I tried to analyze this with different eye tools for hidden patterns and stuff like this, but I couldn't find any. It would be stunning if there was a hidden message behind it, but it seems to be all random. I also have found some model sheets. You can see on the left the G-Force SpongeBob. Sounds like a name of a superhero or something like this. On the right side you can see bus driver roughed up, and this guy looks pretty annoyed. At the end this guy helps SpongeBob to get out of rock bottom. He blows up the balloon and then SpongeBob goes up. SpongeBob tries to thank him with the raspberry dialect, but it is revealed that this guy can speak the normal language. One funny fact is that the guy in the bus station is the same guy that stole SpongeBob's candy and also the same guy that walked out of the bathroom. This episode in season 10 is the second time that we see rock bottom, and this time Squidward is traveling there. We see again the creepy looking residents. It is also revealed that the anglerfish who saved SpongeBob in season 1 is still friends with him. But other than that, we don't really see much in this episode. The last time you can see rock bottom is in this episode here. And the title is Food Truck, but in a rock bottom accent. So maybe I should say food truck. You can see how Squidward has this map of the huge drop. And then we see the sign that says, "You are now leaving Bikini Bottom." And then he drives all the way down and arrives in Rock Bottom. And it hasn't changed. We see the Rock Bottom sign, we see the restroom, the bus station, we see the candy machine and also the bus stop. But then it is revealed that there is a mall in Rock Bottom. And surprisingly it looks very friendly inside. You can see again the weird lettering that is like backwards and weird and stuff like this. But then we see one sign in the Rock Bottom Mall, and it reads SB 138. And this is a reference to the production code of Rock Bottom. And then there is also a circus tent. But the circus tent and also the mall were empty. There is also a cemetery, and apparently someone has dug here. We also see SpongeBob's old friend again. His name is Bert, by the way. But in this episode he tries to get away from SpongeBob and Squidward. For now it's the last time that we saw Rock Bottom. But I'm pretty sure that sooner or later we will see another episode where we can find out more about Rock Bottom. What do you think about Rock Bottom? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See ya.